one body, another body is produced, and the life symptoms are visible due to the soul's taking shelter of this body. One should not think that it was impossible for another body to come out of the dead body of Maharaja Vena. This was performed by the skillful actions of the sages. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. So let us just quickly see what is happening here. The sages were concerned before verses when we had already read that the all the sages planned to meet Vena, and they pacified him. In the background, this is what happening, right? They pacified the king that if you don't listen to us, our advices, you will destroy yourself. This is, was advised by the sages to Vena, and they asked him to follow Dharma. And they said it is very good for you to follow, otherwise, you yourself will fall down and your royal position will go. Like that, the sages were pacifying. And hearing that, he said, please, the sages said, hear this good advice attentively, and then you will, this will increase your opulence, this will increase your duration of life, strength, fame, everything. They said, follow the dharma with body, mind, words, intelligence, and then you become free from miseries. Like this, the sages were advising, and they said, you are actually being, this, you actually have to become free from the influence, and then you get liberated. But this he is not listening. You, and they are telling your activities are like should not cause to spoil people in the citizens of the this particular kingdom, to spoiling their spiritual life. You are spoiling the spiritual life of your own citizens, and this will lead to their fall down, and then eventually your fall down. Like that, they are concerned about Vena, and then they are giving good advice, and then here they are telling pious persons, pious king should protect the citizens, and then from all these mischievous things, or ministers, mischievous ministers or thieves and rogues are there, so they are all are there. So that's how they are advising. And Vena says that, okay, who is actually a king? A king is someone who is embodied, all the demigods reside in him, and all that he says, he is counteracting sages advices, and he never listens to them, and then he in that situation, the sages didn't had any other option. Instead of, he is telling you, worship me, you give your offering to me, and like that, in that situation, the sages actually got angry, and then the sages actually killed him. So this actually turned the whole body of Vena into, he killed. And saintly persons are generally don't like to kill, or they are very kind to everyone. But if king only becomes like a demon, like like a serpent, like every other person, thieves and rogues are running like rats, is mentioned in the one of the purports, right? So it is upsetting to the government. So like that, if a king is like that, then how is it possible? So they have to replace the king also. They, before they were trying to find someone after Anga Maharaj left, with the dissatisfaction looking at atrocities of his own son, disappointed, and then he thought it's a boon kind of thing where he can be relieved, and it gave him to lead to detachment and all that. And then when Vena was there, and then he was like not even trying to rule the king properly. He was blaspheming the Lord, and sages were, couldn't wait, and they manifested their anger, and then with weapons killed Vena, simply they with their actually angry words. Just, we hear from some of the, Shakti Avesh avatars are there. If they just chant something, then in front anything can manifest. Even the fire can come, and everything can burn into ashes. So these sages are very powerful. They are concerned about this Vena situation, and they all assembled, and they just killed him with powerful mantras. And then later, Vena's mother, Sunita, she preserved the body of Vena, and then with special ingredients and mantras like that. And all the sages assembled in near the Saraswati river, and they were discussing all the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. But they are also concerned, like, they are trying to get away from, because it's not their duty to rule the kingdom or, advise. Okay, are you able to hear me, Mataji, now?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Now it's
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay. So,
Yes,
but
Mataji.
Yeah. So, it's not the duty of the sages to rule the kingdom. They only have to advise, and it's kind of a headache for them. They are peacefully trying to discuss the pastimes of the Lord like that, and then suddenly they had a concern. Okay, no, we have to, our misfortune, various disturbances are happening in the country, in this, kingdom, and the people will, they will be in the hands of thieves and in the absence of king, like that. And then they were discussing like that, and they were, all the thieves and rogues are plundering the citizens. This is happening. And then the sages thinking that, okay, we have to bring peace into the kingdom, we should not neglect pure humans. Such neglect will also diminish our spiritual power, like that. They are thinking that, just if you put a water in a cracked pot, how it will be, it will always leak, right? So like that they were telling. So they were thinking all that, and they wanted to bring back the kingdom into one shape. And then they were thinking, okay, this is something which we have to take a decision. So they were, after making a decision, they all saintly persons, they all churned the thighs of the dead body of King Vena, with great force mentioned here. And as a result of this, dwarf like person is appeared from the King Vena's body. Am I audible now, Matajis, to everybody?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Sometimes I think maybe due to my network issues are happening, or laptop, I don't know. But if it is any issue, please message me, so I'll correct quickly. Okay. So now this is something which we see where, sages are not trying to disregard. They have to, this is not their duty, but they have to do something. So here we see the body of this Vena. How this saintly persons, they are trying to get another body from this King Vena. Like we always hear, no, like there is always birth after. No, this reincarnation is there. Birth will come after another, life after. What is that? Life comes from life, right? So saintly persons and sages are concerned with the body of the Vena, because it's actually coming from the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, and they all actually have to, it's coming from that great devotees dynasty. And also Anga Maharaj was also great king, and then all his piety was also there in Vena's body. Though some impiety is there because of Vena's mother, who is Sunita, and she is actually a daughter of who? Sunita is a daughter of
Death
Death
personified.
personified.
death
Death
personified
personified.
Mrityu, right? So, but this has to be corrected. So sages are thinking, okay, in the spiritual life, if anyone get in contact with a pure devotee, like for all of us, we will get transformed, right? So now Vena is coming from such a great dynasty. Now it is required, I mean, it is necessary that to understand that there is some purity in the Vena's body also, though there is some impurity coming from his, grandfather, but still there is some purity because he is connected to great king Anga Maharaj. So, like that, there is certain process which the sages were trying to bring back the life to this kingdom, and they are following that. So what is to understand from this purport for all of us, that not just we cannot ascertain or judge someone based on their complexion. We cannot judge. It's impossible for us to judge. We see from various other scriptures of Prabhupada also, Nectar of Instruction, particular verse, sixth text. What is this telling? Next of Nectar of Instruction, verse 6. Drishtaiva swabhava janiter upasasya chadosher. It's telling that, if you are situated in original Krishna consciousness, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee will not see anything from materialistic point of view. Right? So it's important for us not to judge just looking at this Vena's body. Now we have to understand that we have a devotee is supposed to overlook. Either it's coming from a body born in a low family, or body with a bad complexion, or body which is physically having some difficulties or deformed or diseased, like leprosy or things like that. It's only for ordinary vision these imperfections are. But sages are very learned and scholarly, and they are pure devotees. They have to oversee all these defects. And then, if anyone come in contact with a pure devotee, nothing can be polluted. So like this, Vena coming in contact with King Anga and coming in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, there'll be nothing, there should be something coming out of this particular product. I mean, product means a mixed combination of Vena and Anga, but it's not something like hopeless. So that is why they want trying to find out. And in that particular verse also, in Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada has mentioned in the translation that if it is like exactly the water of the Ganges, when sometimes during the rainy season you see some bubbles, some mud, some foam like that, but Ganges can never be polluted. We all agree, right? Ganges can never be polluted. So water of Ganges can never be polluted. So that's why, that in the similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual understanding, they are like, they'll bathe in the water of Ganges, and without they're considering that condition of water. Like we would have done that when we go to Mayapur, we don't see all that impurities because we are not able, we shouldn't see such kind of imperfections. In that mood only we should visit the holy Dham. Even my Vrindavan also, nowadays if you see Vrindavan, impossible to think about the pastimes which Krishna has enacted, but we cannot see from that perception. We have to think that there is always Krishna is there in that particular place. He has done all his eternal pastimes are going on like that. So we should not label or judge a Vaishnava according to the qualities. So something we may say with their physical faults or defects or something, we should not disrespect or judge like that. So these doshas has to be ignored. This is something. And we also hear from Bhagavad Gita, right? What is that verse we have in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? 4th chapter, 13th verse. How do we understand that? Chaturvarnyam Maya Shrestha Gunakarma Vibhagasa, right? How are we trying to understand the qualities? It's like guna and karma determine the qualities, right? Guna and karma are very important. Varna is designated according to the qualities of a person. So this qualities and past deeds both are important. Like for example, a quality of a Brahmana. What are the qualities of a Brahmana? Can someone say?
Satyam, Shaucham, Titikshava, Karunika.
Saucham,
Titikshava, Karunika.
Yeah. Very truthful, cleanliness, honest, humble, all that, right? Yeah. And what are the qualities of Kshatriya? My voice is 100% here. Qualities of a Kshatriya?
He has to fight, Mataji. He has to fight, protect the bravery, heroism.
Yeah, courageous. He should be valorous, and he should be resourceful.
Yes, he has to be determined and he has to have generosity and leadership also, Mataji, in the
Yeah,
pattern.
like that. They should have such qualities to do. But we see here in Vena, it's missing. But we can't overly focus on external factors or external features of that. In looking at the body of the Vena or his atrocities like that. But we have to understand what's going to come from this particular Vena's body and Vena's activities, what is going to appear. So sages, they are knowledgeable, that they are trying to further understand how Vena's body is going to transform and then establish a new king, and then kingdom should flourish like that. Yeah. So we see in Brahmanas always the majority, they are actually predominant by mode of goodness, but the secondary predominant is what? Is the mode of passion is there.
Passion.
Kshatriyas, we see first it is what? Mode of passion is predominant, and then secondary mode is sattva gun, right? In Vaishyas, we see what is you see rajogun is mainly predominated, and then the secondary is tamo, and shudras tamagun is mainly predominated, and then rajogun is secondary. Like that, there is, for every ashram or every varna, there is an opportunity for anybody if they come in contact with a devotee to purify from these contaminations or to get transformed, so that you can make use of your life. Can, if you go to the second para of this particular purport, do you mind going little bit down, Mataji? Yeah, see here what proper the second lines in this, in this way the ingredients for the production of another body were there. So there is, Sunita has actually preserved following the mantras and chanting all that. But there's the person came out is Bahuka, the dead body of that Vena's King Vena's dead body, person named Bahuka came out. So we have to understand that from the great king Anga's even another body is produced, and the life symptoms are visible, like taking shelter of the body of this body. That means another body Bahuka is taken shelter of that Vena's body. Now if this Bahuka get in contact with a pure devotee, chances of transformation is there. This is how sages are thinking. One should not think that it's impossible that, in any lower species, we can't think that they cannot transform. Right? There are many opportunities for a lower species also when they get contact with, eating Krishna Prasad, got delivered quickly. Right? You see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes how the puppy got transformed, right? The pastime is there, Nimai and puppy.
The dog,
Yeah.
Mataji.
The dog, yeah. So got
And
transformed,
I
right?
think Shena something will become. I don't remember that full name.
Yeah, but what is the point here to understand is one should not think that it's impossible for another body to come out of this dead body of Maharaj Vena. It's not impossible. It is possible that, and that can be, with skills of sages, they are trying to bring another king, and that portion of, Anga's purity has to be preserved. Okay, Sunita has preserved the dead body because Vena is not an ordinary person, but there is some other auspicious portion which has to come out from this body. So this Bahuka has emerged from this particular Vena's body. So shall we go to the next one? Next verse. Yeah, someone please recite. Ka Krishna Tish.
Hare Krishna. Chandrika Devi Mataji, you can read the shloka. Meenakshi Mataji, the translation, and Kripamayi Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna. Devotees who have finished reading, kindly lower your hands. Please.
Dandut pranams, Mataji.
And pranams.
With 44, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Kaka Krishno tirasvango rasva bahur mahahanuhu rasva panimnanasagro raktakshastamra murthajaha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This person born from King Vena's side was named Bahuka, and his complexion was as black as a crow's. All the limbs of his body were very short. His arms and legs were short, and his jaws were large. His nose was flat, his eyes were reddish, and his hair copper colored. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We can read the next also and then discuss more.
Kripamayi Mataji, you read the shloka, and Vasudha Mataji, the translation, and Anusuya Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kripamayi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vasudha Mataji, you read the shloka, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Tam tu te avanatam dinam kim karomiti vadinam nishideti abruvam stata sanisadas tato abhavat. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was very submissive and meek, and immediately after his birth, he bowed down and inquired, Sirs, what shall I do? The great sages replied, Please sit down, Nishida. Thus, Nishada, the father of Nishada's race, was born. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare
Shall I
Krishna.
continue, Purport, Mataji?
Yeah, I think someone
No,
else is ready.
someone else will read Mataji. Now
Okay,
Kishori
Mataji. Hare
Mataji, you
Krishna.
can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said in the Shastra that the head of the body represents the Brahmanas, the arms represent the Kshatriya, the abdomen represents the Vaishyas, and the legs beginning with the thighs represent the Shudras. The Shudras are sometimes called black or Krishna. The Brahmanas are called Shukla or white, and the Kshatriya and the Vaishya are a mixture of black and white. However, those who are extraordinary white are said to have skin produce out of white leprosy.
Yeah.
It may be concluded that white or golden hue is the color of the fire caste, and black is the complexion of the Shudras. Hare Krishna, Devi. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. So we see that this Bahuka is, how is he? He is very submissive and meek. After immediately taking birth, he bowed down and inquired, What shall I do? So he is inquiring this with the sages. And sages said, Just sit down. So what you understand is that the Upanishads, Upa, what is that? Upa means come nearby, or come closer, like that, near. And Nishad means, sit. So it's this, from there it is coming. So he's asking, okay, come sit nearby. So like that, sages are coming and sitting nearby. So we understand, that the Vena is coming from that good background in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. Similarly, we see how Hiranyakashipu is coming in that demonic background, and then we have Prahalad Maharaj coming as a devotee in that. And we see Vidura, who is a Dasi Putra. We also see Vibhishana in the demonic family, he is different to them. And we see Bali Maharaj, also different, a devotee of Lord. So like this, Vena is Anga, King Anga is like that in the dynasty, but Vena is looking, is his position is little different. But the body which has come out from this Venas, that is Bahukas, that body is very submissive. And immediately after taking birth, you're seeing that, the submissiveness of asking the sages, what is he supposed to do? Like that. Though we see this, Prabhupada said in the purport that, head of the body represents Brahmanas, arms represent Kshatriyas, abdomen represent Vaishyas, legs beginning with thighs represent Shudras. All these, the Shudras are sometimes black, Brahmanas are white. This is there, but extraordinarily no one can be judged like that. Like how I was telling before, that it is not determined, the varnas, the varna of any Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra cannot be determined, only by qualities and then their previous background can be, that determines. So everyone has an opportunity to get purification. The different backgrounds are not the mandatory. The opportunity is by self. It's coming, and in contact with Krishna they will get. Like that, you see other opportunities we see Prahalad Maharaj got, and Vidura got, and Vibhishana got, Bali Maharaj got. Like that, we are understanding they came in contact with Krishna. That's why, though they are in other demonic families, they are not like that. We also see in Canto 1, where when Krishna is going to Dwaraka, everyone is receiving him, everyone is waiting, Dwarakavasis, to receive him. At that point, Krishna, when he entered, he actually blew the conch shell. When he blew the conch shell, the white conch shell turned into red. just by touching the lips of Krishna on the conch shell. So that is the power of getting in contact with a devotee, a spiritual touch. So spiritual touch, what happens? It will transform the matter into a spiritual. It will spiritualize everything. Just like we offer boga. And then when you offer the boga, everything gets scantified, right? And then at the same time, when you have a deity in the form of a metal or wood or what else? The deities can be stone, all that. But when you actually, invoke and then they give the prana pratishta, they are actually spiritual. They are spiritual. You see, it's not no more stone, wood, or like that. It's this Supreme Lord Himself there. So getting in contact is very important here in these purports. Getting in contact and then transforming is what we have to learn. Whatever the background may be, any person, they contact with pure devotees, transformation happens. Like that, Vidura also says in the third canto, sorry, Uddhava says in third canto, that just by contacting with the arrows, if you can open that verse, third canto, second chapter, 20th verse. If you can just read only the translation. Anyone able to do it? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji on the screen.
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, if you can read the translation only, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows. And while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
So what is this? You see here, just by contact with the sharp arrows of Arjuna, everything got purified. Everyone, whoever is fighting in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Similarly, just by seeing the lotus face of Krishna, the pleasing eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. So such purity is there. So from impure source, some kind of purity is coming out, like that. We see appearance of Varahadev also. How Varahadev appeared? How did he appear?
Nostrils of Brahma.
No, nostril.
Nostrils of Brahma.
Nostril of Brahma. And can we imagine what kind of source it is? Like, if you have fully with cold or something, it's very inauspicious whatever coming out from the nose, right? And it's not something like, that place you, and remember, if you just imagine, it's not an auspicious thing to happen. But Lord Varahadev is incarnation of the Lord and we worship him, right? And he came from the nostril of the, boar. I mean, this one, nostril of Brahma, sorry. And it's very like that. And then Arsim Bhagwan came from the pillar.
Pillar.
Yeah. So this is like, Lord can appear from anywhere. This is we are going to hear in the next purport of this chapter. Lord can appear from anywhere. There's so many unconventional ways he can choose to come and then purify everything. So this Vena's body churned to give rise to some impurity section is churned initially, so that from the thighs, that product of King Anga, the thigh is the product of Sunita, has to be, it has come in the form of Bahuka, and now the next part has to be churned, and that will be in the next chapter beginning. But that is what the sages are looking for. The impurity part has to be taken out, and then the purity will come. So similarly, in our existence also, we as human beings, the impurity has to be taken out from us. All contaminations has to go from our heart. All the anarthas you have to get rid of it. What is the anarthas? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all has to go only. They're all sitting in your heart, and it's so uncomfortable for Krishna to sit in your heart. He's still staying in your heart kindly, as Paramatma is residing. But when you get rid of those anarthas, you will be able to see the Paramatma, future of the Lord, or I realize like that. So this impurity has to go from the Vena's body in the form of this Nishida. Nishida means just sit, means do nothing, sit like that. The sages are instructing him to sit. So very submissively he is also sitting there inquiring what shall I do. So this is very important for us to understand that coming in contact with a pure Vaishnava, a purification happens. Then just like how just Krishna in so many of his Krishna Leelas, the demon Putana came in a disguised form trying to kill Krishna. But Krishna purified her. When we hear from Krishna pastime, when Putana was killed, nice fragrance came from her body. And that fragrance was actually some miles of kilometers is been everyone can feel or smell it like that. So she got purified after killing. The touch of the pure devotee, like touch of purification happens, like how Dhruva Maharaj killing all the yakshas, and Arjuna throwing all the arrows in battlefield, like that. And when Krishna killed Aghasura, what is Aghasura wanted to do? What's the intention of Aghasura?
To swallow Krishna.
Huh?
He has
Aghasura,
opened.
Mataji, he opened his
To
mouth
kill
and
Krishna.
biggest.
To kill Krishna.
Yeah, but all the children of Vrindavan also going into the mouth.
Also going in.
Yes, yeah, but still he didn't close the mouth. He was
Yeah,
waiting for Krishna to enter.
correct.
As soon as Krishna entered, he closed his mouth.
Yeah, but with the touch of Lord, just by punching Aghasura body, when it was being killed, the same Aghasura body became a playground for the children to play.
Yeah.
Right? So this touch of that is important. So this, the sages are trying to churn that body so that because they were sitting and meditating and nicely discussing the Krishna Katha, now the atrocities are going on. First they had the problem and then when Anga left the kingdom, they found okay, Vena is okay, let him put and like that. They have enthroned Vena, and then when the Vena is also not listening to them and disregarding all their nice suggestions to look after the citizens, and they have killed him. Now the solution is not yet come. Again they have to search for someone to put onto the kingdom so that they can rule the citizens nicely. So that purification has to happen, that all the unwanted thing has to go from Vena's body, then only the next incarnation, then like we see the avatar of Lord will appear. So if we read the next purport, we will little bit clarity will come. Can we read that, Mataji's next verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Anita Mataji, you can read the shloka. Gopika Radha Mataji, you can read the translation. And I'll read half the purport and half the purport Divya Mataji, you can read. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. तस्य वंश्यस्तु नैषादा गिरिकानन गोचराः येन हरज्जायमानो वेन कल्मषम् उल्बणम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Mataji. After his Naitisha birth, he immediately took charge of all the resilient actions of King Vena's sinful activities. As such, Naishada's class are good, engaged in sinful activities like stealing, plundering, and hunting. Consequently, they are only allowed to live in the hills and forest. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Nishadas are not allowed to live in cities and towns because they are sinful by nature. As such, their bodies are very ugly and their occupations are also sinful. We should, however, know that even these sinful men, who are sometimes called Kiratas, can be delivered from their sinful condition to the topmost Vaishnava platform by the mercy of a pure devotee. Engagement in the transcendental, loving, devotional service of the Lord can make anyone, however sinful he may be, fit to return home back to Godhead. One has only to become free from all contamination by the process of devotional service. Divya Desai Mataji, you can continue the remaining part. Hare Krishna.
मम हि पार्थ व्यापस्त्रिया एपि स्युः पापयोनः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्ततः शूद्रास् तेऽपि यन्ति परम गतिम्. O son of Partha, those who take shelter of me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Sudras workers, can approach the supreme destination. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the fourth canto, 14th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Story of King Vena. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So it is confirming to us in the purport by Srila Prabhupada that these Naishadas means that one cult of that particular from that Vena's body which has come out after churning the thighs, that one cult has established, and they are not allowed to sit in the live in the cities or towns because they are very sinful by nature. So that impious product of Sunita which is there, it is actually in the form of this has come of Bahuka and it's Nishada. Now these Nishadas are not allowed to stay in the cities and they are engaged in sinful activities, plundering, hunting, like that. They live in the hills and forests. Like what do you call, like some of those are there in how to say in English, these are in mostly in forest areas. They are that they don't even wear proper clothes and they are
Tribal?
tribal
Tribal people.
people.
Tribal
So yeah, so then Prabhupada is telling they are sometimes called Kiratas also. Kiratas means they are in such a position where they are very sinful, but their sinful position or condition can be delivered or transformed from a topmost Vaishnava, a pure devotee. And this we see who can do that. The only incarnation who can do that. We always hear from Mahaprabhu past time, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only incarnation, such a merciful incarnation where all the sinful people can also get delivered. Right? Isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, you see,
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he has gone to Jharkhand forest, all the animals got delivered. And then this drunkards, Jagai, Madai, they're so sinful. They are actually causing trouble to the people, I mean, throwing stones and everything, and Nityananda Prabhu got hurt, bleeding. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot tolerate this kind of, attitude. He was about to kill or punish them. And Nityananda Prabhu mercy, requested not to do that, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showered mercy and they transformed. Right? So, like that, we have to take a shelter of a guru to get transformed. It's very, very important. Unless, among all the avatars, we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best in transforming all the hopeless people. And we are hopeless because we are, how many lifetime species we have traveled to come to this point?
84 lakhs.
Yeah, 8. Now, 0.4 lakh is human beings, and we are one among them. 4 lakh is human being. We are one among them. And human beings, actually, rare opportunity, less in those species when you count. And then got the opportunity now. If you don't get in contact with a pure devotee and purify and come to that platform of, being a Vaishnava, then where is the hope for us? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is freely giving us, distributing without any discrimination. He is giving this. What is he giving to all of us?
Mahamantra.
Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema, Mataji.
He is giving Krishna Prema without any discrimination. Like that, we have to, that is why we have to follow all the regulative principles. We have to do all the samskaras to the children. All the samskaras they impart a lot of things in their upbringing. So then, a guru will come in their life, and then the guru will transform that person's consciousness, and then they will be given in the young age. They start imparting. They all the Dijas will become Vipras, learned person. The transformation will happen by education. And then, when you become a Brahmana by education, then you have to come to the platform of a Vaishnava. So you have to approach a guru, a bona fide guru in the disciplic succession, and one has to only to become free from all contamination by process of devotional service. Prabhupada is telling here. So we need to, that intensity of spiritual understanding is required. We are coming from various bad impressions, bad karmas or impure activities or impieties, all that. And Guru is there to take away all our sins and purify and transform. That is possible. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing. Like we see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu past time also, like he had two gurus, right? Right? He has got two gurus. The two guru means a guru who gave the normal education.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
What's the
Yeah.
guru's name who gave normal education? I'm not able to remember.
Ishwarapuri is
Ishwarapuri is one of
Shiksha.
them.
Ishwarapuri is
Guru
someone
Namaskar.
who he gave initiation, right?
yeah, sannyas, I think some other, right?
So Gadadas Pandit. That
Keshav Bharti.
Gangadas.
Keshav Bharti.
Gangadas.
Gangadas Pandit.
Gangadas is a guru in his childhood for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, the later he took a spiritual initiation from Ishwara Prabhu. So there's some general education required, there's spiritual education required. General education will help us how to behave, how to, act in a certain places, and, all that information. Like GK is there, right? How GK is there, subject knowledge has to also be there. Like that GK means how to live in this material world is important. But again, subject knowledge will help us to excel. So like that, spiritual knowledge will help us to uplift our this human form of life, and then we surrender to that guru and submissively serve, inquire. So this nishada is submissively inquiring, sitting, right? You see, in the form of bahuka, sitting, and then they are given, okay, you be here, like sinful by nature, you're doing this, and then but they can be delivered from their sinful condition by coming in contact with pure devotee. So that engagement in devotional service is important. For someone, we all are sinful only because we have so much of contamination in our heart, so much of desires, hankering is going on, loading over material nature, right? That's why we are here. So we have to become free from all that. So in this way, Prabhupada is telling, just like taking the example of Bahukas and Nishadas, in this way we all have an opportunity, and we can always, get in contact with pure devotees to become eligible to go back to Godhead. And Prabhupada also quoting the Bhagavad Gita verse there, 9.32. Yeah. Those who take shelter of me, even though they are in low birth, women, Vaishyas, Sudras, they all can approach me and they will get a supreme destination. This is guarantee, Prabhupada is telling, right? So this
Mataji, can I say something?
Yeah.
Something about Lord Chaitanya?
Yes.
There's a verse, there's Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurapate Namaha. There he said, he is like distributing Krishna Prema.
Correct.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for reminding the beautiful words when we always remember when we offer Bhoga, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's important, like so many aspects are there. Training our, though one may born from a good family, following a purificatory activities are very important. Apichestu duracho bhajate mamananyava. Yeah, that is also there. Yeah. Fit to be trained. So responsibly we have to train, and then make them like nice devotees. So here we see that Anga is a body of Anga finally has got purified with the sages intervention, and then came in contact with sages like that, and then with the divine touch of Krishna got purified, and that's how Prithu Maharaj appears in the next chapter from this Vena's body, the remaining part of his body. And then Anga Maharaj is actually that pure portion of Vena's dead body, and that portion of Vena's dead body of Anga Maharaj is Shakti Avesh incarnation. Shakti, pure, that because that pure body is coming from a great king Anka, and gave rise to the Prithu Maharaj, who is actually a Lord's Shakti Avesha avatar. So Lord can take any place to take birth. Unconventional ways he can take birth. So here is another coming from dead body. Earlier we heard coming from nostril, Brahma's nostril, and we heard from a pillar. Now he is coming from a dead body. So he can choose however he take, the enact the leelas, like that. So next chapter will be, I think, starting tomorrow, right? So there's so many lessons to learn from a bad king Vena, right? That way it is reminding us the human form is so auspicious, and if we don't make use of it, we are like bad king Vena. Sorry to say that, but yeah. Anyone has anything else to share or add or say?
Mataji, I have to ask you one question from this text 43. In the purport, he says, no, King Vena was born, and certainly he had taken another body. So soon, how is it possible to take another body, Mataji? After death?
So soon, what? It is.
So soon he had taken another body. In the purport?
So soon he has taken another body. 43 purport, Mataji?
Yes. Purport, fifth line, fifth row.
So what was your question, Mataji? I'm trying not to understand.
So soon is it possible to take another body?
Yeah, because there is a requirement. It's actually destined by Lord. How soon we'll take another body, right?
Yeah, but generally, sorry, Mataji, my voice. Generally, they have to check the karmas and all that, no, for everybody.
Yeah, but again, we have to understand that Vena is not an ordinary body. Vena's body is not ordinary. There's a purpose for him to appear like that and then reappear in a different body so that it will continue. So, for every person, there is a, according to their karma and according to their baggage, it will take into different shape in different body, right? So Vena is not like
he was. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
So you're
what I'm saying, he was also not a good king, no?
Yeah.
So he didn't have any karma. Sorry, Mataji, for asking this. It's just my curiosity.
So you also have a karma, you are asking, right, Mataji?
We all have karma, no, Mataji. So how if he has taken body so soon? That's what I don't understand.
Okay, how can he take that birth so soon into like?
Without going through the karmic reaction.
Correct. That karmic reaction has come up in the form of Bahuka. Nishada.
Oh.
Nishada is that karmic reaction part. The purity part is Prithu Maharaj. You don't, we understand that how Nishada was appeared. That is his next life.
Okay, Mataji.
Impure part is that Nishada only. And he is allowed to live in forest and everywhere. So that's what happened to him. Right?
Okay, understood, Mataji. Thank you.
And then Prabhupada said in the purport, though he is born like that and living in forest, coming in pure contact with a devotee, purification can happen. The hope is there for him also.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Initially, I was not clear with the question.
No, it's okay, Mataji. My voice also there.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any more questions to share? I don't think, Mataji, there are any questions. Can we do prayers and end the class, Mataji?
Yeah. Sure, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much for all of your time.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranams.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च
sindhubhya eva cha
कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च
patithanam
पतितानां
pavanebhyo
पावनेभ्यो
vaishnavebhyo
नमो
namo
नमः
Ananta Koti
समस्त
Vaishnava Vrinda ki
वैष्णववृंद की
Jai Srila
श्रील
Prabhupada
प्रभुपाद
ki
की जय
Grantaraj
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्
Bhagavatam ki
भागवतम की जय
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna
so much,
Mataji,
Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna Mataji.
pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna to all devotees. Mataji, should I end the class?
Yes, Mataji.